Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. You want to talk about money just rolling into XRP and the crypto asset class? I do, so I'm going to, because this is my YouTube channel, damn it, and I do what I want. So there's the first ever cryptocurrency index fund that tracks the top 10 cryptocurrencies available to U.S. investors. And this is in line with something that, I guess if you want to call it a Moon Lambeau narrative, I think it's important. So I've been talking about this concept a lot lately, and I keep providing evidence of it. But just this idea that, well, first of all, retail investors were in this space long before institutional money. And even today, even though there is institutional money, and you do have publicly traded companies purchasing Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset, even though all that's true, it's still nowhere near where things are going to be in the future in terms of adoption. It's almost no businesses and barely any humans out of the, how many humans are there? Like 7.8 billion at this point, or some stupid number like that. And it's like, is it a 1, 2, 3%? Is it even that much that hold cryptocurrency at all? It's almost nobody. And here we are sitting on this. And it's not going away, and there will be cryptocurrencies, I believe anyway, that have tremendous staying power. And what I'm illustrating to you right here is real-world adoption from an institutional perspective, and XRP is a part of this story, and it's a big part of this story. And so I want to be clear also that I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and so you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I just think it's fun to talk about these things as a hobby and make YouTube videos. It's my most favoriteest hobby ever, but that is indeed all that it is. So here's the headline from CoinDesk. Bitwise's crypto index fund becomes available to U.S. investors. And then I also have, where's the other story? Oh yeah, here we go. This is cool too. Check this out. From the Daily Hodl. Banking giant Standard Chartered to bring Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Bitcoin Cash services to institutional clients. And it just like brain explode when I realize this. And it's just like, I feel like most people, and I don't blame people for feeling like this, because like probably, to be honest, most of the last 3 years I've kind of felt like this. It just feels normal, like it's just, yeah, this is where we are right now. I don't know. But the degree to which this is a special point in time, I think it deserves further recognition. I really strongly believe that. And I think that it's not that I've fully taken all of this for granted. Like, I've been here along this ride, and it's been something. But it's worth taking a step back to recognize that this is a once in like the evolution of history type of thing. Like, people say it's a once in a lifetime or once in a generation type thing. This might be a one-time thing, period. I don't know that you're going to have anything close to this ever again, because you're talking about, creating something, an asset, a new asset, man-made asset that is provably scarce and decentralized. Like, the things you can do with this, and the trust implications as a result of this, it's amazing. And so into this piece now, again, about Bitwise. Bitwise Asset Management, a provider of cryptocurrency index funds to professional investors, announced Wednesday its 10 crypto index fund is now available to U.S. investors as a public traded cryptocurrency index fund. After a Form 211 for quotation of the fund shares were reviewed by the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, or FINRA for short, the Bitwise 10 Crypto Index Fund was enabled to be listed on the over-the-counter markets and trades under the ticker symbol BITW, the company said in a news release. Shares of the fund will be tradable through traditional brokerage accounts, and the assets will be custodied with Coinbase Custody Trust Company. The fund will track the Bitwise 10 Large Cap Crypto Index, a diversified market cap weighted index of the 10 largest cryptocurrencies. As of November 30th, the fund held approximately 75% Bitcoin and 13% Ethereum. And those are the only two they cite. They didn't want to go to the third one, which is XRP, of course, but I'm going to show you that number in just a moment. Don't worry. Now, according to Hunter Horsley, co-founder and chief executive of Bitwise, this gives investors exposure to cryptocurrencies without trying to pick winners or having to constantly monitor the rapid changes in the space. BITW is designed for financial advisors, Matt Hugan, Bitwise's chief investment officer, said in an email response to CoinDesk. Financial advisors are eager for a safe and easy way to allocate to crypto for clients. And it's interesting, whereas for most of the last decade, if you're a financial advisor that was delving into cryptocurrency, that meant that you were losing you would lose credibility as a result if and if your clients would find out, that's actually flipping. It's at the point where you're going to be seen, and in some instances you are seen as irresponsible if you don't have exposure to that. And so we haven't really hit critical mass on that, but it is coming. And it's going to become increasingly clear as time passes. This asset class is not going away. And so if you're going to be intellectually honest with yourself, if you're a naysayer, at some point you have to ask, okay, what did I get wrong? What do I not understand? Because it's purely not going away. And that there's so many reasons, but there's real utility to be had here. It's a truly valuable technology. Now, Hugin clarified that Grayscale's digital large cap fund is not an index fund. By the way, I wanted to mention, this is at the end of the article here, because it holds a basket of 5 crypto assets without tracking an index. And while Grayscale's product requires a 3% management fee, BITW is slightly cheaper at 2.5%. Now, I wanted to share this thread also by chart analyst Credible Crypto, who has now 84,000 followers on Twitter, and he's very pro Ripple and pro XRP, so you may have heard me cite him in videos where I'm talking about price, which is not what I'm getting into in this video, but I enjoyed this thread and I wanted to share it with you. It's on this topic. Some important info on the new Bitwise Invest Crypto Index Fund that has just launched. The first crypto index fund that tracks the top 10 cryptos and gives U.S. investors the opportunity to gain exposure via their brokerage accounts. Index funds are a way for investors to easily invest in a basket of holdings with a hands-off approach. The fund tracks the value of the assets inside, and the investor gains exposure to a diversified portfolio of said assets in the sector. In this case, the Bitwise index fund is comprised of the top 10 crypto assets in the following proportions. And there's a chart I'll show you, and I'll blow it up in just a second here. But this is important because there are a lot of people you'll find that do want exposure to the crypto asset class, but a lot of people won't want to be hands-on. Like, so I was totally willing to get hands-on even though I don't like learning new tech stuff. You know, like I grew up with computers and all that stuff, so I'm totally literate when it comes to regular day-to-day tech stuff. I just don't enjoy it. It just doesn't strike me as a fun thing. But still, I was able to delve in and purchase my cryptocurrencies, but there are people that would just never do that. And so when you have, financial vehicles out there that can take care of the purchasing, custody, all of this, but they get the exposure, well, that'll just draw more people in that are absolutely not willing to do that. But anyway, cites here, you will note that the index is heavily weighted. You note that the index is heavily weighted towards the top 3 assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. With these 3 making up 94% of the asset allocation. And so, actually, I'll just pull it up here so you can see this. Bitcoin 75.7%, Ethereum 13.35%, XRP 5.88%. And then it drops off precipitously after that. Litecoin 1.24%, Bitcoin Cash 1.1%, Chainlink 0.98%, and so on and so forth. Stellar, like you can see 0.77%. And so you might think, XRP only 5.88%, but it's number 3, dude. It's number 3 out of 10. And plus, this is subject to change anyway, depending on real-world adoption and where the price action goes. So I think it's awesome. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It just means that more XRP is going to have to be held as adoption continues. And again, cryptocurrencies, including XRP, absolutely tremendously scarce. And so, anyway, that's making up, the top 3 make up 94% of the asset allocation, and the remaining 7 assets comprise only 6% combined. It is also important to note that the current market price that the index is trading at is at a nearly 100% premium to the net asset value. This means that you are paying a nearly 100% premium to purchase shares of the index as to purchasing said assets directly. And by the way, guys, I know that might sound nuts to you, but there are people that don't care. They just want the exposure to the asset class, and this is a way to do it. And if you're long-term enough and you got a ton of money and you're just putting in a small percentage of your net worth, it can make sense because it's like either you do that or you know that you're never going to go to the trouble to figure out all the tech side of it and do it yourself. So it's different people want different things, my friends. So it's perfectly fine. But anyway, what this means is that if you have access to purchasing crypto directly, you are likely far better off going that route as you will get much more bang for your buck due to the premium that the Bitwise fund is currently trading at. Yeah, that's definitely true. Firmly agree with Credible Crypto here. I'm just recognizing that not everybody is going to be willing to do that. Then he writes, however, there may be some exceptions in this case. Because the Bitwise fund can be traded via brokerage accounts, investors may be able to gain exposure via the fund to crypto assets in tax-deferred retirement accounts. So this is where paying the premium may actually make sense. That being said, considering that 75% of the Bitwise fund is made up of Bitcoin, there may be better alternates to the fund at this time for those who want exposure to crypto via tax-deferred retirement accounts, IRA accounts. For example, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust allows investors to gain exposure to Bitcoin via brokerage accounts and currently only trades at a 15% premium. This is far less than the near 100% premium that Bitwise Index Fund is trading at. The main difference here is that GBTC only gives you exposure to Bitcoin, which is true. And so that's where you might think, and he's making a very fair point, absolutely. But you think for the type of person that isn't going to ever custody this stuff themselves and figure it all out, investing in the index fund, even though there's a 100% premium compared to a 15% premium with Grayscale where it's just Bitcoin, if you have that basket of 10, look, I think that most, if not all, of the cryptocurrencies, in positions 2 through 10, if they're going to have staying power, they're going to substantially outperform Bitcoin because there's substantially less money in them. So to get a doubling, tripling, quadrupling, so on and so forth effect, these asymmetrical gains, it's not surprising. Like, that's what we have seen for the last decade. The cryptocurrencies, the smaller cap coins, if they have rallies, it doesn't take much to get them to boost like way up in terms of percentage gains. But anyway, right? Whereas the Bitwise fund gives you exposure to 9 other cryptos as well. So keeping in mind, though, that the Bitwise fund is 75% Bitcoin anyways, you have to ask yourself if it makes sense to pay a much higher premium for some exposure to those to the other 9 cryptos in the index fund. This will come down to how valued that diversification is for you and how much of a premium you are willing to pay for it. For most, it probably makes more sense to just buy GBTC for now. However, those interested in a more diversified mix should keep an eye on the Bitwise Index Fund ticker, BITW, as the premium will fluctuate and at some point may come back down to earth, giving interested investors a chance to enter without paying a potentially exorbitant premium. And so I'm pretty well on board with everything that he said right there. I just wanted to share my thoughts in addition to that. All right, from the Daily Huddle, banking giant Standard Chartered to bring Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Bitcoin Cash services to institutional clients. My friends, you were here first. You got your XRP, your hands on XRP, whatever other cryptos you chose to hold, before all these institutional players got into the space, supporting clients and so on and so forth. Financial services giant Standard Chartered is preparing to launch an institutional-grade cryptocurrency custody platform. The British multinational bank will work with Chicago-based Northern Trust to launch Zodia Custody, a cryptocurrency custodian solution that will facilitate institutional investments into Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Zodia seeks to meet the growing institutional demands for exposure to cryptocurrency assets. So again, XRP has to be held for this. You guys recognize this. XRP is scarce. So think about the dynamics of supply and demand as I'm reading through this. The project hopes to take advantage of both traditional banking structures and cutting-edge fintech to assist customers who wish to delve into the crypto sector. According to Alex Manson of Standard Chartered, the partnership will ensure that SC, Standard Chartered, and Northern Trust are ready to meet that shift in digital banking. And here's a quote. The launch of Zodia demonstrates our commitment to rewiring the DNA in banking, drawing on Standard Chartered's heritage of providing custody services to institutional clients for 160 years. Zodia's mission is to be a force for good by lifting industry standards for digital assets in a sustainable, safe, and responsible way. And so there we go. It's just going to keep like this narrative's not going to end. You guys realize this. And so I think that by the time this next market cycle is done, like so many people's brains are just going to explode. There are going to be so many melted faces that I don't even know how you're going to clean up the mess. There's going to be so many melted faces, just like you're going to be walking down the street. There's a melted face. There's another melted face. Like you got to get a street sweeper, and hopefully that's just probably going to get face goo all over it when you're trying to get it all cleaned up. I don't even know how it's going to work out, but somebody's going to have to figure out something, man. But that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.